The massive starship Celestial Voyager hung in orbit around HT 40,000, 307 grams, a super-Earth exoplanet that had long fascinated human scientists. Captain Elena Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling atmosphere of the alien world below. After decades of preparation and a journey that had lasted generations, humanity was about to make its first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. "Any response to our signals, Lieutenant Ramos?" Captain Chen asked, her voice steady despite the tension that filled the air. Lieutenant Ramos shook his head, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface before him. "Nothing yet, Captain, but our sensors are picking up increasing activity on the planet's surface. I think they've noticed us." As if on cue, a fleet of sleek, silvery vessels rose from the planet's atmosphere, their design unlike anything humans had ever seen. They were enormous, easily dwarfing the Celestial Voyager, which had been the pride of Earth's space fleet. "Open a channel," Captain Chen ordered, straightening her uniform. "Let's hope the Universal Translator does its job." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that made the entire bridge crew gasp. The alien was massive, easily 4 times the size of an average human. Its skin was a deep purple, with bioluminescent patterns pulsing across its surface. Multiple eyes blinked in a synchronous rhythm, each the size of a human head. "Greetings, tiny creatures," the alien's voice boomed through the speakers, the translator struggling to keep up with the complex harmonics. "I am High Commander Zar'keth of the Gargantuan Collective. State your purpose for entering our sovereign space." Captain Chen swallowed hard, acutely aware of how small she must appear to these giants. Nevertheless, she stepped forward, her chin held high. "I am Captain Elena Chen of the Earth ship Celestial Voyager. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge." A rumbling sound echoed through the communication channel, which the crew realized was laughter. Friendship, knowledge. What could beings as minuscule as you possibly offer to the mighty Gargantuan Collective? Chen felt a flash of anger at the dismissive tone, but kept her composure. "Size isn't everything, High Commander. Humans may be small compared to you, but we have achieved great things. We've mastered faster-than-light travel, developed advanced AI, and even begun to manipulate the fabric of space-time itself." Zar'keth's multiple eyes blinked in rapid succession, a gesture that the human xenobiologists would later learn indicated surprise. Impossible. No species so diminutive could achieve such feats. You must be lying or delusional. "I assure you we are neither," Chen replied firmly. "Perhaps a demonstration is in order." Without waiting for a response, she nodded to her chief engineer, Commander Akira Tanaka. Tanaka activated a sequence on his console, and suddenly, the space around the Celestial Voyager began to ripple and distort. The gargantuan ship's sensors went wild as they detected massive energy fluctuations. Before their astonished eyes, the human vessel seemed to fold in on itself, disappearing from view only to reappear moments later on the other side of the alien fleet. "By the cosmic winds," Zar'keth breathed, his voice a mix of awe and disbelief. "How did you do that?" Captain Chen allowed herself a small smile. "That, High Commander, was a controlled space-time fold. We called it the Chen-Tanaka maneuver, named after myself and the brilliant engineer who perfected it. It's just one of many technologies we developed." The bridge of the Gargantuan flagship fell silent as Zar'keth and his officers processed this information. Finally, the alien commander spoke again, his tone markedly different. "Perhaps we have been hasty in our judgment, Captain Chen. It seems your species has much to teach us, despite your compact nature. And we have much to learn from you as well, High Commander," Chen replied diplomatically. "That's why we're out here, exploring the stars, to learn to grow, and to forge friendships across the cosmos." Zar'keth nodded, a gesture that looked oddly human despite his alien physiology. "Very well, Captain. We shall escort your vessel to our capital city. There is much to discuss." As the communication ended, Chen turned to her crew, noting the mix of relief and excitement on their faces. "Well done, everyone. Looks like we've made quite a first impression." Lieutenant Ramos chuckled. "I guess you could say we've shown them that good things come in small packages, Captain." Chen grinned. "Indeed, Lieutenant. Now, let's go meet our new friends and show them what else these tiny creatures can do." As the celestial voyager followed the gargantuan fleet towards the planet's surface, none of the humans aboard could have predicted the profound impact their arrival would have on the galaxy. The age of humanity as a cosmic power was just beginning, and the term space dwarfs was about to take on a whole new meaning. 6 months after humanity's first contact with the gargantuan collective, Captain Elena Chen found herself in a position she never could have imagined. She stood before the Galactic Council, a gathering of representatives from the most powerful spacefaring civilizations in the known universe. The chamber was vast, clearly designed to accommodate beings of various sizes, though most were significantly larger than humans. Chen felt like a child at an adult's table as she gazed up at the towering alien delegates. The gargantuans, now allies of humanity, were among the smallest species present. Some of the council members were so large that Chen could barely make out their features without the aid of magnification devices. A deep, resonating tone signaled the start of the proceedings. The council speaker, a being composed entirely of shimmering energy, addressed the assembly. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, we gather today to consider the petition of the species known as humans to join our ranks." The speaker's words echoed through the chamber, automatically translated for all present. "We will hear their case and vote on their admission." Chen stepped forward, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "Honorable members of the Council, I am Captain Elena Chen, representing the United Earth Federation. We come before you today not to ask for charity or protection, but to offer our friendship, our unique perspective, and our contributions to galactic civilization." A ripple of murmurs and translated whispers spread through the chamber. One of the largest beings, a mountain-like creature with crystalline skin, spoke up. "And what, tiny one, could your species possibly contribute?" The crystalline being's voice was like an avalanche. "You are barely visible from where I sit. Surely, you cannot possess technology or resources that would be of use to the greater galactic community." Chen had expected this reaction. She activated a holographic projector on her wrist, and suddenly the chamber was filled with miniature representations of human achievements. Spacecraft, quantum computers, terraforming equipment, and more floated before the astounded council members. "What we lack in size, we make up for in ingenuity and determination," Chen declared. "Our Chentinaka spacitime fold drive has revolutionized faster-than-light travel. Our bioengineering techniques have cured diseases that have plagued other species for millennia. And our AI systems are unparalleled in their ethical design and problem-solving capabilities." The gargantuan representative, High Commander Zar'keth, spoke up in support. "I can attest to the humans' capabilities. Their technology allowed us to finally colonize the gas giants in our home system, a feat we thought impossible for generations." As the council members discussed among themselves, Chen could see a mix of skepticism and intrigue on their alien faces. She knew she had to drive her point home. "Esteemed council, our size has always been our greatest strength," she continued. "It has forced us to be resourceful, to think creatively, and to push the boundaries of what's possible. We've learned to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and now we offer that unique perspective to you." A serpentine being with feathers instead of scales uncoiled itself to its full height. "Pretty words, human. But how do we know you won't simply be crushed under the weight of galactic politics? This is no place for the fragile or the weak." Chen's eyes flashed with determination. "With all due respect, Counselor, humanity has faced extinction-level events, fought interstellar wars, and tamed black holes. We are anything but fragile or weak. In fact, I would argue that our resilience in the face of a hostile universe makes us ideal members of this council." She gestured to the holographic display, which now showed scenes from human history: the pyramids, the moon landing, the Mars colonies, the Jupiter Dyson swarm. We've gone from stone tools to starships in the blink of a cosmic eye. Imagine what we could achieve as part of this grand alliance. The energy being that served as the council speaker pulsed brightly. You make a compelling case, Captain Chen, but there is one more test we require of potential members, a test of wisdom and judgment. A holographic scenario appeared in the center of the chamber. It depicted a complex diplomatic situation involving multiple species, resource disputes, and ancient treaties. How would humanity approach this conflict? The speaker asked. Chen studied the scenario carefully, her mind racing. After a few moments, she began to outline a solution that combined innovative resource-sharing technology, cultural exchange programs, and a novel approach to treaty law that respected the ancient agreements while allowing for progressive change. As she spoke, she could see the council members leaning in, their expressions shifting from skepticism to interest and even admiration. When she finished, there was a moment of silence before the chamber erupted in discussion. Hours passed as the council deliberated. Chen waited patiently, standing tall despite her physical smallness in the vast chamber. Finally, the speaker called for order. After careful consideration, the Galactic Council has reached a decision, the energy being announced. By a majority vote, we hereby extend an invitation to the human species to join the Galactic Council as full members. Cheers erupted from the human delegation, while the other council members expressed their approval in various alien ways. As Chen accepted the official invitation, she couldn't help but smile at the irony. Humanity, once dismissed as inconsequential space dwarfs, had just become one of the youngest species ever to gain full council membership. As the session concluded, Chen was approached by various delegates, all eager to discuss potential collaborations and exchanges. She knew that the real work was just beginning. Humanity would face countless challenges in the galactic political arena, but she was confident they would rise to the occasion. After all, humanity had always thrived on defying expectations, and in a galaxy of giants, sometimes it paid to be small. I remember dismissing you when you first stood in this chamber, it rumbled. I was wrong then. Perhaps we have been underestimating you all along. You have my support, Admiral Chen. One by one, the other council members voiced their agreement. The speaker called for an official vote, and it was unanimous. The Galactic Defense Force would be formed, with Admiral Elena Chen at its head. As the session adjourned and preparations for war began, Chen couldn't help but reflect on the irony of the situation. Humanity, once dismissed as insignificant space dwarfs, now stood as the galaxy's best hope against an overwhelming threat. She activated her comm unit. This is Admiral Chen to all United Earth Fleet personnel. Initiate the Titan Protocol. We're going to war. As she strode out of the council chamber, Chen's small stature seemed to grow, radiating a strength and determination that inspired all who saw her. The space dwarfs were about to show the galaxy why it should never underestimate the little guys. The battle for survival was about to begin, and humanity was ready to prove once, and for all that in space, size doesn't matter. Ingenuity, courage, and the will to survive do. The vastness of space around Epsilon Eridani was shattered by flashes of weapons fire and the silent explosions of dying ships. The Klaxon invasion fleet had pushed deep into Allied territory, and now the fate of countless civilizations hung in the balance. Admiral Elena Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, the flagship of the Galactic Defense Force. Around her, beings of all sizes and species worked in perfect harmony, a testament to the unifying power of a common threat. Status report, Chen commanded, her voice calm despite the chaos unfolding on the view screens. A Phylaxian officer, her translucent form shimmering with stress bioluminescence, responded. The Klaxon world engine is advancing on the colony world, Admiral. Our main fleet is engaged with their escort ships, but we're taking heavy losses. Chen nodded grimly. The Klaxon world engine was a beast of a ship, a mobile planet capable of stripping entire worlds of resources in minutes. Conventional weapons barely scratched its surface. "It's time," Chen declared. "Initiate Operation Mousehole." The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. Operation Mousehole was risky, borderline insane by most species standards. But then again, most species weren't human. Chen opened a channel to the entire fleet. "All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Commence Operation Mousehole. May your aim be true and your hearts be brave." Across the battlefield, specially modified ships began to break off from the main engagement. These ships, piloted by the smallest species in the Alliance, humans, Zentari, and pipsqueaks, darted towards the massive klaxon world engine. "Like David against Goliath," Chen murmured, a reference lost on her alien crew. The tiny ships weaved through the barrage of klaxon fire, their small size making them difficult targets. As they approached the world engine, they unleashed swarms of even smaller drones, each carrying a payload that would have seemed laughably small to the klaxons had they bothered to notice. "Mousehole teams, report in," Chen commanded. "Team Alpha in position," came the response. Commencing Phase 1. In the wake of the Battle of Epsilon Eridani, the political landscape of the galaxy shifted dramatically. The victory over the klaxons had not only saved countless lives, but had also reshaped the perceptions of power and influence among the galactic species. Admiral Elara Chen, now hailed as the giant slayer across the galaxy, found herself at the center of a diplomatic whirlwind. As she stood before the Galactic Council once again, she marveled at how different the atmosphere was compared to her first appearance years ago. "Esteemed members of the Council," Chen began, her voice carrying easily through the chamber, despite her small stature. "We stand at a crossroads. The klaxon threat has been pushed back, but not eliminated. How we proceed from here will define our civilization for generations to come." The council speaker, the being of pure energy, pulsed with agreement. "Indeed, Admiral Chen, your leadership and the strategies of your people have proven invaluable. The Council is prepared to grant humanity a greater role in galactic affairs." Chen nodded, but her expression remained serious. "With respect, Speaker, it's not just about humanity. The recent conflict has shown us that our traditional ways of thinking about galactic politics are outdated." A murmur ran through the assembly. The crystalline being that had once dismissed humans leaned forward. "Explain, Admiral. What do you propose?" Chen activated her holographic projector, displaying a complex network of interconnected nodes. "I propose a complete restructuring of how we approach galactic governance and diplomacy. We've been thinking too big." She zoomed in on the display. "Currently, our council is dominated by the largest and most powerful species. But as we've seen, size and raw power aren't everything. I propose a new system that gives voice and influence to species of all sizes and capabilities." The gargantuan representative rumbled thoughtfully. "A noble idea, Admiral. But how would such a system function in practice?" Chen smiled. "By thinking small, of course. We create specialized committees and task forces, each focused on specific areas where different species excel. The Zentari, for instance, could lead initiatives on miniaturization and efficiency. The Gargantuan Collective could oversee large-scale construction and terraforming projects." She continued, her passion evident in her voice. "But more than that, we create a system of mentorship and collaboration. Larger species partnering with smaller ones, sharing knowledge and resources. We turn our differences into strengths rather than points of contention." The serpentine counselor uncoiled slightly. "And where do humans fit into this new order, Admiral?" Chen's eyes gleamed. "We do what we've always done best: adapt, innovate, and bridge gaps. Humans have a unique ability to see potential where others see limitations. We can serve as mediators, problem solvers, and out-of-the-box thinkers." As Chen outlined her vision, the council chamber buzzed with excitement and debate. Some species were hesitant, clinging to traditional power structures. Others saw the potential for a more inclusive and dynamic galactic community. The Forlaxian representative, her form shimmering with intellectual excitement, spoke up. Admiral Chen's proposal aligns with recent sociological studies on multi-species cooperation. Diverse perspectives lead to more innovative solutions and stronger, more resilient societies. Chen nodded gratefully. Exactly. The recent conflict proved that we're stronger together, leveraging each species' unique strengths. Why should our peacetime governance be any different? As the debate continued, Chen introduced another revolutionary concept, the Galactic Exchange Program. Imagine, she said, a galaxy where young beings from every species have the opportunity to live and work alongside others completely different from themselves. Not just cultural exchange, but a true melding of perspectives and ideas. The energy being serving as council speaker pulsed brightly. An ambitious proposal, Admiral. Some might say overly idealistic. Chen's response was firm. With respect, Speaker, idealism is what drives progress. It was idealism that led humanity to the stars, idealism that made us believe we could stand equal among giants. And it was idealism that allowed us to imagine a way to defeat an enemy that outmatched us in every conventional measure. Her words hung in the air, and for a moment, the chamber was silent. Then, gradually, voices of support began to rise. The crystalline being spoke, its facets reflecting the holographic display. I have lived for millennia, and in all that time, I've never encountered a species quite like humans. You think in ways that defy convention, see possibilities where we see only obstacles. Perhaps it's time we learn to see the galaxy through your eyes. As the council deliberated, Chen couldn't help but reflect on the irony of the situation. Humanity, once dismissed as insignificant space dwarfs, was now reshaping the very foundations of galactic society. Hours passed, filled with intense debate and negotiation. Finally, the council speaker called for order. After careful consideration, the energy being announced, the Galactic Council has decided to adopt Admiral Chen's proposals with some modifications. We will begin the process of restructuring our governance and implementing the Galactic Exchange Program immediately. A cheer went up from the human delegation, echoed by many of the other species present. As Chen accepted congratulations from various council members, she knew that the real work was just beginning. The galaxy was changing, and humanity, the unlikely space dwarfs, were at the forefront of that change. It was a reminder that true strength comes not from size or power, but from adaptability, creativity, and the willingness to see the universe from new perspectives. As Chen left the council chamber, she smiled to herself. The term space dwarfs had started as an insult, became a badge of honor, and now it was a philosophy that would shape the future of galactic civilization. The age of thinking small to achieve big things had begun. A century had passed since the Battle of Epsilon Eridani and the subsequent reformation of the Galactic Council. The galaxy had transformed in ways that would have been unimaginable to most species before the arrival of humanity. On the centennial anniversary of these events, beings from across the galaxy gathered on Earth for a historic celebration. The planet that had once been dismissed as the homeworld of insignificant space dwarfs now stood as the symbolic heart of a thriving, diverse galactic community. Admiral Elena Chen, now well into her second century thanks to life extension technologies developed through multi-species collaboration, stood on a stage before a vast crowd of humans and aliens alike. Despite her advanced age, her eyes still sparkled with the same determination and creativity that had helped reshape the galaxy. Friends, colleagues, honored guests, Chen began, her voice carried across the gathering by advanced acoustics. 100 years ago, many of us stood on the brink of annihilation. Today, we stand united in a golden age of peace, discovery, and cooperation. She gestured to the diverse crowd before her, a living testament to the success of the Galactic Exchange Program. Humans stood shoulder to shoulder, or equivalent appendage, with beings of all sizes and forms, from the microscopic nanokin to the massive stellar titans. When humanity first ventured into the stars, Chen continued, we were dubbed space dwarfs, a term meant to belittle us. But we embraced it, turned it into a strength. We showed the galaxy that true greatness isn't measured in physical size, but in the magnitude of one's ideas and the depth of one's compassion. Holographic displays sprang to life around the gathering, showcasing the achievements of the past century. Images of the galactic university system, where beings of all species came together to learn and innovate. Footage of the first successful intergalactic expedition, made possible by human-inspired folding drive technology combined with gargantuan power sources. Scenes from the Great Healing, where human medical techniques merged with alien biotechnology to cure diseases once thought incurable. Visualizations of the Dyson Swarm Network, a collaborative project that had revolutionized energy production across the galaxy. Chen smiled as she observed the reactions of the crowd. We've come so far, but our journey is far from over. The term space dwarfs has evolved. Today, it's not just a name for humans, but a philosophy embraced by species across the galaxy. She pointed to a group of young aliens wearing the insignia of the Galactic Exploration Corps. To be a space dwarf is to approach problems with creativity and determination, regardless of your physical size. It's about seeing potential where others see limitations, about lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down. The crystalline being that had once dismissed humans in the council chambers now floated forward. Its voice resonated through the gathering. Admiral Chen speaks truth. We, the crystalline Concordat, once thought ourselves superior due to our size and longevity. The humans taught us that the greatest achievements come not from individual power, but from collective innovation and mutual respect. Cheers erupted from the crowd, a cacophony of sounds from hundreds of different species. Chen raised her hand for quiet. But our work is not done. Even now, on the fringes of our galaxy, the remnants of the Klaxon Empire stir. New challenges await us in the vast intergalactic void. But I have no doubt that together, embracing the spirit of the space dwarfs, we will overcome whatever the universe throws our way. She paused, looking out at the sea of faces before her. A wise human once said, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." For centuries, humanity looked up at the stars, dreaming of the day you would walk among them. Now, we do more than walk among the stars. We help guide the course of galactic civilization. Chen's voice swelled with emotion. So let us go forward into the next century with the same spirit of adventure, creativity, and unity that has brought us this far. Let us continue to think big by focusing on the small acts of kindness, the small innovations that lead to breakthroughs, the small steps that together form the journey of 1,000 light years. As Chen concluded her speech, the sky above lit up with a spectacular display, a joint project between human artists and alien light manipulators. It told the story of the galaxy's transformation from divided species to a united civilization, with the silhouette of a small human figure standing tall among the stars. The gathering erupted in applause and various alien expressions of approval. As Chen stepped down from the stage, she was approached by a young Centauri, barely visible to the naked human eye. "Admiral," the tiny being said, its voice amplified by technology, "I'm a student at the Galactic University. Your story inspired me to believe that even the smallest among us can make a big difference. Thank you for showing us the way." Chen knelt down, smiling at the minuscule alien. "Thank you for carrying the torch forward. Remember, in space, there is no up or down, no big or small. There are only those who dare to dream, and those who dare to make those dreams reality." As the celebration continued around them, Chen couldn't help but marvel at how far they'd come. The galaxy had learned to think small in order to achieve greatness, and the era of the space dwarfs had only just begun. In the vast cosmic ocean, humanity had found not only its place but its purpose. They were the bridges between worlds, the innovators who saw possibilities where others saw only vacuum. They were the space dwarfs, small in stature but giants in spirit, forever changing the face of the galaxy one small step at a time.